In 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out on a journey into the Ural Mountains in Russia. They were all well prepared and skilled in outdoor survival, yet none of them ever made it back. The search for the missing hikers led authorities to a terrifying discovery. Their tent was found slashed open from the inside, suggesting they had fled in panic. But it gets stranger. Some of the hikers were found with severe internal injuries, including broken ribs, and others were missing their eyes and tongues. The most chilling part? Some of their clothes were found radiating high levels of radiation, and their injuries were consistent with being hit by a force far beyond human capability. Yet there was no external trauma to explain the damage. Theories have ranged from the Russian military system long afterwards, but that doesn't explain the bizarre and unsettling details of the case. Many even suggest paranormal activity, with some witnesses claiming to have seen strange lights in the sky near the area. What really happened that night? Was it an accident, a cover-up, or something much darker? The mystery of the Dyatlov Pass continues to haunt investigators and amateur sleuths alike. Imagine waking up in the dead of night, only to find a brutal killer standing over you, axe in hand. That was the tragic fate of the Moore family and their 2 house guests in 1912 in Villisca, Iowa. The family of 6 was brutally murdered, along with 2 young girls who had been spending the night. What makes this story even more chilling is the complete lack of evidence or motive. The killer or killers used an axe to slaughter the family in their sleep, then proceeded to cover their faces with sheets. After committing the crime, the killer is believed to have stayed in the house for hours, even eating food in the kitchen before leaving. Eerie part, when police arrived at the crime scene, the axe was found, and no signs of struggle were visible. The scene was eerily clean, and no neighbors were hurt. Despite the brutal nature of the murders, several people were suspected over the years, but the case remains unsolved to this day. The Villisca Axe murder house still stands, and those who visit often report strange occurrences. Cold spots, unexplained footsteps, and a feeling of being watched. Some claim to hear the cries of the children who were killed, forever trapped in the horror of that night. Could there be children out there who are not what they seem? Over the past few decades, stories have emerged of black-eyed children, young, innocent-looking kids who ask for help, sometimes requesting rides or to be let inside people's homes. But those who encounter them describe an overwhelming sense of loneliness. The children are said to have completely black eyes, with no whites visible, and almost unnatural stillness in their movements. The most terrifying part? These kids usually exhibit a sense of urgency, asking for things but never explaining what they need. When asked what they want, they often refuse. In some accounts, people who have encountered these children report feeling an unexplainable dread in their presence, as though something malevolent is about to happen. Some of the most disturbing stories involve these children being seen near isolated areas or abandoned homes, offering no explanation as to who they are or where they came from. Despite the creepy encounters, no one has ever truly discovered their origin, leaving many to wonder. Are they lost souls, demons, or something even more sinister? One of the most famous hauntings in American history, the bell which terrorized the Bell family in Tennessee in the early 1800s. The family reported strange noises, knocking, scratching, and whispers coming from the walls, particularly Lucy Bell, the matriarch. She reported being slapped with children and even having her hair pulled by unseen. Things got even more chilly when the spirit began speaking, claiming to be a malevolent entity. It would recite conversations that had happened miles away and even predict events with uncanny accuracy. The entity's influence grew so strong that Andrew Jackson, the future president of the United States, even visited the farm to investigate. He and his men encountered strange phenomena, including the eerie, disembodied voice of the Bell Witch. Though the entity eventually seemed to fade away, it's believed that Kate still haunts the area, and many claim the Bell Witch cave near the farm remains a place of mysterious energy. In 2013, a young Canadian tourist named Elisa Lam was found dead in the water tank of the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. What made this case so unsettling was the CCTV footage of Elisa before her death. In the video, she appears to be acting erratically, pressing multiple elevator buttons, hiding in the corners of the elevator, and even seemingly talking to someone who isn't visible. She is then seen leaving the elevator and disappearing from the footage after her body is found. Strange details began to surface. The water supply to the hotel had been contaminated with Elisa's body for days before it was discovered, and guests reported strange tasting water. Her cause of death was ruled accidental drowning, but many believe that the eerie video and strange circumstances surrounding her death point to something much darker. Some even speculate foul play or paranormal involvement. The Cecil Hotel, notorious for its troubled past, has a reputation for being haunted, and Elisa Lam's tragic end only adds to the hotel's sinister history. These 5 true stories have left lasting marks on history, with unanswered questions and chilling details that continue to haunt us. Whether it's the unexplained deaths of hikers, a terrifying haunting that defied logic, or encounters with beings that shouldn't exist, these stories remind us that sometimes reality can be far stranger and more terrifying than fiction.